I didn't think the pain from the shingles rash would affect simple, everyday tasks like bathing, getting dressed, or even walking around. I was wrong. Though not everyone at risk will develop it, 99% of people over the age of 50 already have the virus that causes shingles, and it could reactivate at any time. I developed it, and the blistering rash lasted for weeks. Don't learn the hard way, like I did. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today. Sponsored by GSK.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
At Blinds.com, it's not just about window treatments. It's about you, your style, your space, your way. Whether you DIY or want the pros to handle it all, you'll have the confidence of knowing it's done right. From free expert design help to our 100% satisfaction guarantee, everything we do is made to fit your life and your windows. Because at Blinds.com, the only thing we treat better than windows is you. Visit Blinds.com now for up to 45% off with minimum purchase plus a professional measure at no cost. Rules and restrictions apply.
I knew it. Another Hurrdat Media production.
Hi, Chantel.
Hey, Roxanne.
On today's episode, we are covering some hot topics, some updates from the Wendy arrest. What's going on there? What are people saying? We will be back and we will be discussing Salt Lake City and Potomac. I mean, now for Bravo, if I was Bravo, I'd be so happy about the fact that like people are going to be watching like the Real Houses of Potomac and dissecting every single scene of Wendy's scenes. But
Yes.
It also is kind of annoying though, because now what Bravo can do, because even though it's airing, they still are editing the episodes as it's airing. So it's like if they think there's something, they will be able to take it out.
Oh yeah, that's true. And they do that. So like they could do that for this one 100%, or they're going to make it where like we did see in previews that maybe she's talking about her marriage. We don't know, but maybe they'll lean into that a little bit more. Like if they talk about financial problems or anything like that.
Yeah. So Ashley was on Watch What Happens Live and nothing got asked about like the Wendy stuff. We found out that was pre-recorded, but when Andy Cohen came out and he made like a whole statement about the Wendy thing. And I thought it was so interesting what he said. And he was like, it was on the Cyrus Andy Cohen Live. And he basically was like offering support for Wendy while admitting like he doesn't really know much. And he's like, I want to say that like all of you, I found out about the charges against Wendy and Eddie on Friday morning. And there's not much that I can say. I know nothing of the charges more than you guys do than what I've read. And then he says, I'm sad about this. I'm really sad about this. And Wendy is just, I'm a Wendy fan. And she has been a great housewife and a great role model. She's always led with education, her solid family values. And so I'm really thinking about her and her family. And I'm certainly hoping that this is all some big nothing. And I'm thinking when I listened to that statement initially, I'm like, you know what? That's how a boss should react. Like, have your employees back. Like, that's fine. That's how a boss should react. And then I spoke about it with my girlfriend and she's like, no, I actually think the statement is complete bullshit. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, why do you think that? And she was basically saying, she's like, just right now, think Jennifer Aiden. If Jennifer Aiden this happened to Jennifer Aiden, do you think that he would say any of this? She's like, even Dorit. She's like, if this, came out about Dorit, do you think he would react that way? Erica, anybody else? Like, do you think he would react that way? Do you think he would say like, oh, I'm just like really sad about this and whatever. And like, she was like reminding me of the charges. And I'm like, yeah, that's actually true. Because like, and that's the one thing as like, let's just think about us all being employed and we have a boss. When you see a boss like clearly give someone else favoritism, like it's fucking annoying. It's so frustrating. You're like, it's not fair. Like, why are you like that? What did I do to you? And it's like, you just like think of it as like, it's complete bullshit. So then I'm like, wait, that is actually bullshit because like anytime like, and Jennifer Aiden was a great example. Like anytime she got bad press, Andy piled on it, And it's like, I think you have to be consistent with everybody and be a certain way with everybody as a boss.
But
What do you think?
unless we remember how he really acted when it came to like charges like literally about jail time, like if we really go back and see what he said about them, then I do think it's fair because like the stuff that with Jennifer Aiden, like it wasn't like she was going to jail or anything, like she was just being like, you know, she was getting bad press and like he probably didn't agree with her actions in that moment. But like this right here, it's like he's taking the side of like, you know, like I feel really bad, you know, this is crazy, this is like could be jail time, she's a mom, like, you know, I hope it's not true, but if it is true, then we'll talk about it. Like he's just making it he's being very neutral and just making it seem like he wants to be there for her more than anything of like, you know, just let's hope it's not true, but then if it is, then he'll say something else about it and say like it's wrong.
Well, what about the Jen Shaw thing where he was like, he recently said like he never wants to see Jen Shaw again.
Well, she got convicted though. So like I think it all matters after the fact of like she went through trial, there was a conviction. Like when Wendy gets convicted of this and like it shows true, I don't think he's gonna say like I feel bad. I think he's gonna say like, you know, like actions have consequences and he's gonna go in that route more. He's not gonna say like, oh, you know, unless he feels bad. Obviously, she's a woman going to jail. Like no one wants to see them leave their kids, but I don't think he's gonna sit there and have her back on it.
Yeah,
And
that's a good point
we
too.
have something to talk about. But you know what? Like, to be honest, like I remember when Teresa went, like he always had Teresa's back. He always made sure that like they literally paused the show for her. Like
I know, but Chantel, these charges are really, really crazy. And here's the thing. Like, here's the thing. The thing with like a Wendy is like, you know, she was so strong in talking shit about Karen, about everybody. And this isn't like an Eddie thing. This isn't like she did this with Eddie by herself, like, or Eddie did it by herself, like she didn't have any idea. Like she was so involved. And there was like a scene where, and I want to show it to you, where literally Wendy is going off on Karen. And look what she says. Hold on. Let me just start it from the beginning.
The life you're living now is exactly God gave you for all the bullshit you've done. So live in your motherfucking truth. Because God is paying your ass.
Wait, can you make it louder?
Well, I can.
What's so funny? The life you're living now is exactly God paying you for all the bullshit you've done.
So she's like saying, like, this is all your karma, and this is God paying you back for all the bullshit you've done. So live in your motherfucking truth, because this is all God's karma for you. And she was saying it to either Karen or Mia. And she was like going crazy, and she's like, that's what you get. Like, this is your fucking karma. And it's like that. That's the energy she would give the women when they were at their worst. And it's like, girl, look what is happening to you. Like, and you are very much involved. Like, let's think about this. You know, she's a doctor. He's a lawyer. And you had a doctor and lawyer emailing each other back and forth about what else they can do to commit more fraud.
Yep. That's I say, like when I was trying to say that one phrase, like people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Like that's like, you can't criticize people when you literally have like the skeleton in your closet and like you're going so hard and you make yourself that you're this like, you know, person that like walks a straight line and you're all about like, you know, making sure that you don't do stuff like that you just did. Like that's where I think that's like why everyone's so shocked. And then that's everyone's like, oh my God, I don't think I believe it. But did you not see what Ashley, I know Ashley didn't say something Watch What Happens Live, but she was doing a singing show.
Yeah.
And like, did you see how she said like, oh, we all knew it. So basically like, it's, you know, like, and I can see this. Like,
I don't think that she actually like knew for sure. I just think that they were like, bro, something's up. You know, Mia said Eddie never held one job since knowing him. You know, I know he went into the weed company, but you have to invest a lot to go into stuff like that.
When you're in a friendship circle with anybody, like let's say them, obviously it's in a show, but like let's say just Roxanne and I, we know someone all of a sudden, like they told us that their house got broken into and like they like whatever happened, they got all this money from insurance. We would be like, okay, like really? Did they not? Like you would start speculating. And I think with them, they probably all were talking shit behind the scenes and all were like saying like, dude, there's no way. So like, I think that's when they're like saying that they all had speculated that something was shady about this like insurance thing and her house getting broken into. And this is such a Bravo thing too. Like, remember in Married to Medicine, like people always like speculate. I mean, even people with the whole PK and Jury thing, people are still saying, oh, this is like, you know, PK did it. Like anytime a house gets broken into, people want to make it seem like it was a inside job and it wasn't an outside job. So that's where like, I think Ashley's coming in and saying, dude, we knew.
How about also like it came out, some Reddit users found that the same day that Wendy reported the robbery, on her Instagram post that same day, it featured 4 pictures of like Wendy and Eddie dressed in black and white. And it was like when they were in Jamaica, and Wendy quoted the Jay-Z and Beyonce song, Bonnie and Clyde, writing like, quote, put us together. How are they going to stop both of us? Whatever she lacks, I'm right over her shoulder. Like that's Jay-Z, like that's part of it. And a lot of people are talking about her doing that as well. And she literally puts the quote, like, put us together. How are they going to stop both of us? Whatever she lacks, I'm right over her shoulder. And people are like, she was like playing in everyone's face.
Oh my, like that's like where like the investigators and like that's like where social media gets you in so much trouble sometimes, because it could have been innocent, but then like it really can backfire on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
now,
I think, and someone did say to us like, oh, it seems like you guys are happy about it. Like we're not happy about it, but like it's just crazy, and like it just like it's a lot to talk about because someone like this you're just so shocked by.
well, I will say, of course, I'm not happy about this one. This is a mother who does have kids, and like hopefully she pays back and doesn't have to do any time. It's not about that, but I've always felt very off about Wendy. And again, it's like I always feel off about anyone who constantly like brings up their accomplishments. I'm always like, you don't need to do that. It's a big insecurity issue. Like, and then just like completely coming in season 2 and being a complete different person from the professional person that she made herself out to be. And she was completely a different person season 2. And then how she like treated NECA and NECA got fired after that. So I was always team NECA. So like, yeah, I was like, dude, I always felt something off about her. And then this is like, but I never thought this, I already said, I never thought she would do this. So this was really, really crazy. So aside from that, no updates. They're keeping quiet and they're saying like, we're looking forward to our day in court. But again, when it comes to insurance companies, like you don't want to fuck with them. Like they have their goal and mission is to prove otherwise. And so like, if it's gone forward, like you're kind of screwed here. So the best thing is they're going to have to plead guilty. So we'll see what they do.
Plead guilty and like try to get like a private like case where it's like no one can see anything.
Yeah.
Like you don't want it to go into court where you do like you're going to air out everything. You're going to want it to be more private and like just close the deal out. Hopefully it is something that's like, we'll see, I guess. Like if Eddie gets time and she doesn't.
Yeah.
Or no one gets time. Like you said, the best case scenario is like they have to pay.
Well, on our last episode, we did look up what's likely in that state. And it does look like they will.
Like 20 years, right? You said?
Yeah. But if you have a plea deal, then who knows, So another thing is moving over to OC, Emily came out on the after show and she basically says that what Katie did is a million times worse than what Gretchen did. And she is standing by that. She didn't say that on the show, but on the after show. And do you agree? Yes or no?
This episode is brought to you by 20th Century Studios' new film, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, starring Golden Globe winner Jeremy Allen White and Academy Award nominee Jeremy Strong. Scott Cooper, the director of the Academy Award-winning movie Crazy Heart, brings you the story of the most pivotal chapter in the life of an icon. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Only in theaters October 24th. Get your tickets now.
How do you top your love for your cat? With a cascade of decadent savory gravy over a mouth-watering mousse pate. Fancy Feast gems. 2 gourmet pâtés in one convenient pack. Simply peel and plate to reveal a pyramid shape that makes eating delightful and pamper her with an experience as extraordinary as she is. Turn the everyday into the extraordinary with Fancy Feast gems.
Getting ready to step into your career era? Set yourself apart with Adobe Creative Cloud Pro for students. Hone your skills with apps like Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, and more, powered with the latest in creative AI. Students save over 55% so you can build a portfolio you're proud of. Launch your future with Adobe Creative Cloud Pro for students. Visit adobe.com/students to learn more.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least that was the plan. Except now the Dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
I didn't think the pain from the shingles rash would affect simple, everyday tasks like bathing, getting dressed, or even walking around. I was wrong. Though not everyone at risk will develop it, 99% of people over the age of 50 already have the virus that causes shingles, and it could reactivate at any time. I developed it, and the blistering rash lasted for weeks. Don't learn the hard way, like I did. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today. Sponsored by GSK.
Wait, say that again?
Do you agree with that statement?
No, what's the statement?
That Emily is saying that Katie, what Katie did is a million times worse than what Gretchen did.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Emily said
Emily is just so happy that she's a storyline this season or something, that she actually has beef with someone. And like, no, it's not. And it's like, again, it wasn't even about her kids. Like, she never really came for your kids. Like I can understand that, like, because like kids are off limits, but all she said is that your kids heard you say something. Like nothing was crazy about that. Literally nothing.
Yeah. So here's Emily's take. She says, quote, "Here's what doesn't make sense to me. What Katie did is a million times worse than what Gretchen did. The difference to me is that Gretchen's having a conversation in a private setting with friends and she's talking shit, which we've all done numerous times. However, Katie is the one who took that conversation, went to someone who has a platform and told them about it. And that's why she feels it's a million times worse." And then she doesn't understand like why Tamra was taking Katie seriously. She says after Katie sat down with Kiki, Tamra's going to go and meet with Katie and take something she's saying as a truth. That just shows you how determined and how obsessed I think that Tamra is to get some information that's going to hurt Gretchen. And Heather said, I don't get that part at all.
Well,
And
I mean, like,
yeah.
is there a problem with wanting to know the full truth to get back after someone who's getting back at you in her head? Like, is there a problem with that? Like, I don't like, why is it such a problem to sit down with someone? You guys just want to alienate her so bad and so much that you're just pissed about it.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, as a friend to them, like, and you guys claim they're such good friends to her, like, maybe Tamara should have listened to them and said, like, okay, it's not worth it. Then if they're telling me not to talk to her, let me be a good friend to these people and just not talk to her. Like, I can see that side of it, but I don't think it was that deep either.
Yeah. And Jen says, like, Jen kind of, also said that Tamara has ulterior motive. She's like, Katie has nobody and Tamara is so needing anything against Gretchen. And she knows Katie came for Gretchen. So that's an obvious friendship that Tamara's going to pursue. That's how Tamara operates. I would just tell Katie to be careful. And, Katie said that she was, quote, extremely happy to meet with Tamara.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that.
Now there's been, moving over to Miami, we found out so much more on part 2 of the reunion. We found out that Julia's been having like a bunch of affairs with the mortician
who she bought a coffee maker for.
You guys, like, I'm confused by Julia as a whole. I would be kind of embarrassed, like, as our kids.
I want to talk about this real quick because I don't know if you like watched the full.
I did.
Okay. So like when they all kept going, like when Lisa kept, I think it was Lisa who kept saying like, you're the cheater. And like, everyone's like the way that the other side did not say one word about it. Like the way they had her back so much, like Larsa, Alexia, Marisol, none of them saying anything. And like Lisa and Adriana were like, you're the cheater. And then they try to come back at Adriana, like you went after a married woman. Like she multiple times had an affair, or she multiple times had hooked up with people. Like, how are we not looking at her and saying like, if that was any other guy, if that was any other person, we'd be going crazy. And like, how are we all not looking at her and being like, what the hell is this? It's disgusting.
I just feel icky about them like adopting 2 kids. Like I feel very weird and uncomfortable about it. And just like knowing that she's had like these multiple affairs. And then like she apparently doesn't tell, because it doesn't sound like they have an open relationship. It's not like she's telling Martina initially, she's telling her after.
6 months ago, she told Martina. So like, you're telling me this happened in 2021 and then you had other affairs and you just told Martina 6 months ago when you guys already just adopted 2 kids. Like
is Martina well? Like, is she okay? Like,
right? Like that's really hard. Unless like you said, like she's not coming on saying they had an open relationship. So it's like what you did was very, 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 very wrong. You cheated. And like, that's why Lisa kept saying like, you're the cheater. Like I'm confused.
Yeah, I feel very icky with like having kids, and it sounds like we don't know this for sure, but it sounds like with the other affairs, like Martina was in the know. And then like I would just feel if my spouse was doing this, like you're laughing in my face, like you sat there and you on TV were doing this marriage proposal to Adriana. Meanwhile, you had just like slept with each other. And it's just like so embarrassing to me that you like did that. Like, I don't know. I just feel so fucking weirded out about the whole thing. I feel so icky, and I feel like these people should not have adopted kids. And I could never look at my mom the same. Like I could never look, I'd be like, are you good? Are you okay? Like, what are you even doing? Why are you married? What was the purpose of you getting married? I just don't understand that. And there were rumors out that Martina is filing for divorce, and Martina came out with like a statement and she's like, I'm not filing for divorce at all. So they're like staying together for now.
I hope that is the case because they do now have 2 young kids, and like let's do that for the kids. Then you just brought them out of a home, you guys are raising them, and it's like that is fine, but it's also just like very, like you said, it's really icky. It just like makes me feel so gross to watch.
Yeah.
It.
Yeah. Oh, another thing with Miami is like following the reunion, Gertie called out Julia's social worker. And because I guess like her social worker got involved, which is like also like very, very weird that her social worker would get involved. Like, what do you think about like third parties like that getting involved?
No, I don't think it's that weird.
Yeah. Because you know, Gertie has been like coming for like producers, how she's been edited and all this stuff. And she is like still talking about this cruise thing. And she came out and said that she was invited to the cruise. She wanted people to know that I was invited. And she says, like, I did not offer to get on the cruise. She asked me, and that's what my text messages prove. Till this day, I still don't know why my text messages were blurred in the first place. There was no big reveal except for this simple fact, but blurring them made it seem like I was exposing intimate details, which I would never do that. So again, like she's like pissed that Bravo, the producers like blurred out something in her text messages. So even though like we're all moved on from the cruise thing, like she wants people to know I'm still confused about that, which I don't blame her because that shit is annoying because then people take it and think something else. And so the social worker comments and says, you are the eternal victim. Move on. The show defines no one. And Gertie responds, because Gertie has happy fingers. Like she's on social media 24/7. I don't know. And she says, hi, Connie. I recognize you from our show. You're Julia's social worker, but did she pay you a bonus to also be her social media spokesperson? Stay out of this and stick to foster caring. I will publicly expose all the nasty comments you have wrote about me and sent me. And if you've seen the show, you know I will. Keep it up, Connie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Isn't that a little scary?
Very scary.
Yeah, I know.
They're going in.
I mean, like, okay, like it's one thing. The social work is kind of weird for doing that, though. Like, go on a burner account if you really want to speak up. It's really not that serious.
Because then your job can be in jeopardy too.
Right. Like, it's not that serious for you to be like saying, I want to defend this or whatever it is. It's just like freaking weird to me. So, like, yeah, I think that's super weird of her to do. And I think that Gertie has every, room to like be like, girl, what are you even saying? But Gertie is crazy on social media. Gertie reminds me a lot of, I like Gertie, but she reminds me a lot of Melissa Gorga.
She does get a big head when people are like excited for her and like have her back. So like sometimes they get fueled by that. So like this season, for example, like people did have her back a lot. We kind of had her back a lot too, so like you get so excited and then you start going ham.
Another thing that's with Miami is that a new report came out of Lisa getting upset with Lenny for building a too small non-waterfront home in a legal complaint. And
I mean, like
what?
I was gonna say, let's be grateful for what we can get, but like I do think it should be fair enough than what was said in their divorce settlement. But like you also can be like be happy you have a new home and you're getting a new home and like
Absolutely.
You didn't pay for it.
I see both sides. If something was promised, it's like, dude, come on. So she alleged that he refused to pay the rent increases despite his ability to comply and is building a home that falls short of what was promised. Under the terms of their divorce agreement, Lenny was required to purchase land on South Shore Drive or a comparable market value close to Star Island in Miami and construct a new home in an architectural style and manner similar to the waterfront mansion the couple previously shared. Lisa was to have exclusive use of the home until their youngest child turns 18, and Lenny would foot the bill for construction, taxes, insurance, and maintenance. But Lisa says the home Lenny is currently building lacks nearly every feature they agreed upon. According to the filing, the new build has no guest home, has 5 bedrooms rather than 6, has a driveway which accommodates approximately 1/3 of the cars it's supposed to, has a smaller pool, is not waterfront, and happens to be across from a very noisy high school where band practice is held. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I mean, it's fine. And she says she like voiced her concerns to Lenny directly, only to be met with a dismissive reply that said the house, so this is his text message, the house will be ready in 2 to 3 months, at which point I will not pay your rent. Lisa is now accusing Lenny of a deliberate attempt to deprive her and their 2 children of the benefit of their bargain under the settlement, claiming he's trying to create instability in their home environment. Lisa says that Lenny has also failed to increase her rent payments, which he's obligated to cover until the settlement agreement. Since her rent increased from $32,000 to $33,000 per month, she argues he's out of compliance. He denies everything and he says none of this is true. It is Lisa that has reached the agreement, which is why we have a hearing later this month. He insists that he met the agreement requirements, claiming the home is under construction. It's 5,000 square foot with an additional 480 square foot attached garage, making it larger than the 5,200 square foot home when combined. And he says the fact that Lisa finds this to not be enough for her should tell you everything you need to know about the kind of person she is. He also took a jab at Lisa's boyfriend. He said, Jody, this is kind of crazy. He said, Jody sold his home and moved in with Lisa. So for the past 2 years, I've been paying his rent as well. Ay, por favor.
Like that. I mean, but like, it's not his rent. Like it's your Lisa's rent. Like that sucks that they want to combine houses. That's not up to you. That's not you.
But I could see like how that would be like, but like, yeah, I mean, that's what their settlement is. So it's whatever. And then Lenny claims he will continue paying rent until the new home is completed. He's like, it's my intention to continue to pay rent so Lisa and Jody can live in comfort until their nearly $10 million home is ready, at which point Lisa will be able to live in luxury with Jody. And then you guys, they're so messy. And then Lisa's attorney said that Lenny's self-serving statements are nothing more than distractions designed to deflect from the one simple truth that he's not complying with the marital settlement agreement. And this isn't about the house not being enough. This is about upholding a contract. Despite his self-proclaimed net worth of $175 million, Lenny has stopped paying rent for the home where his 2 children live, forcing Lisa to file yet another motion and return to court. It is apparent that Lenny hates nothing more than a woman who refuses to be controlled. Lisa is standing up for fairness, accountability, her children's future, and the rule of law against a man who believes the rules simply do not apply to him. What are so much to uncover, but what are your thoughts there?
I think it's like what you kind of said in the beginning a little bit. Like I kind of can see both sides. Like I can see like imagine like us, like right now we had this like really wealthy husband. We were with him for a long time. He really did us dirty. Like you want to get absolutely everything you can out of him and you want to hold him to his word and you don't want anything to waver. And like if it does waver, you're just pissed because you're salty about the situation. But then also like you've moved on, you have a boyfriend now, you are living a good life. Like why don't we just move on from this chapter and stop fighting the fight? Like get what you can get. I'm sure it's still a beautiful home. I'm sure he's still doing a lot that he is being held to, and like, let's move on.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Don't you think? Like, I just think it's just so, it's like, who wants to live in that misery?
It's a sticky situation because you definitely want to get everything, but I don't know. I think the reason he does this is because he knows like Jody is around, but like also like you have a 24-year-old around at every corner. Like you are with a new girl and you're paying for everything she does. Like, you know, at the end of the day, like this is both your guys' money. I don't know. So, I mean, he just seemed very hypocritical because he seems bitter. Not that Lisa has moved on, but that he feels like Jody is like kind of living off of him. But it's like, you have no say. Like you have a new woman who's like 20 years old every day. So you can't talk about anything when it comes to like her relationship, you know? So
no, I agree.
That's my take on it. But I think any other hot topics you have, Chantel?
Let me look. I didn't know. I haven't really been on
no, I don't know. But those were like the main things. It's been slower, you know, but this whole Wendy stuff, you guys, it had us doing a breaking episode. So not as slow, but you know, it has been a little bit on the slower side, but we will be talking Salt Lake City and Potomac's most recent episode. So we will be back for that. I know Salt Lake City comes on today. So stay tuned for that. Because we have 4 housewife cities on now, Potomac, Salt Lake City, OC, and Miami, but Miami is done. But,
And OC will
Miami,
be finishing.
yeah, Miami did end up being like a good episode. So
no, Miami's reunions were really good because
I'm sorry.
When you find out more information behind the scenes at a reunion, that's when it's so good. Like when it's like we're just talking about the season, and especially if it was a mid-season, like not an average season, you're just like, okay, I don't care. But like this was so good because the bomb that was dropped, and like, also like another thing I wanted to say about the reunion. And maybe we'll talk about season 3, but it's like, it is so funny, you guys, how when there's a new lady that comes on, there's so much talk behind the scenes that we don't really know about. But for example, when, what's the new girl's name? The rich girl?
Stephanie.
Okay. So when Stephanie came on, like Larsa, Stephanie, Alexia, Marisol thought they were going to be the best 4 friends because they talked about it. They're like, there's a new girl, like we're going to be like the clique. And then like when they didn't, they were also shocked by it. So like, it's like they go into the season saying like, we're going to be an alliance, we're going to be good. And then like, it is funny how that can unravel. But like, and then we saw that with like Atlanta too. When the new girls came on, they like all became a clique. They all said, we're going to do this together. So it is funny how like they do play like, they text each other and call each other so much before to like make sure they're aligned for this season. And like even Adriana and Julia, they were like, we're gonna be together to make sure that we're a unit. And like it just goes to show that it's so much like game playing, like just to be on the Housewives. And it's like that's where it shouldn't be that way. It's like, let's just be natural.
I am very surprised that Stephanie didn't get more like accountability or more shit. And I think because so much else was going on, but I was like, Stephanie deserves to get more shit. Like she got a lot of hate on social media, but she didn't get any hate. I don't know.
I think she kind of owned up.
She didn't get like called out very much.
She kind of was, but she kind of owned up to it, and then or she doubled down on like the richness. She said something like, when a football player wins a Super Bowl, they wear the ring. They show that their accomplishments. So it's like to her, she doesn't give a shit. She's going to show that she's rich because she's happy that she's rich.
Yeah, I understand. But like a lot of people calling her out, like for saying like, that's how like you grew up like not rich because of how you treat and act people. And then like a lot of people were like saying the stuff about the sister, like no wonder your sisters don't get along with you and stuff. And Andy's like messy. Like he usually asks those questions, but he didn't ask like any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was like just a little bit surprised there. But yeah, you guys, that's what we have for today. We will be back, and Chantel, hope you and baby are doing well.
Thank you. We are. We're just, in our little newborn bubble. She's doing good. I am getting night scaries though. You know how you get Sunday scaries? I get night scaries.
Because she's up.
I just get anxiety knowing what's about to be ahead of me, but like she's a good baby, but then she does have a little witching hour, but then like I just get anxiety about the sleeping because it's like I can fall asleep, but then like you said, it's so hard to put yourself back to sleep. So like I just get so much anxiety knowing like, am I going to be able to put myself back to sleep because it's really hard to.
Yeah, I swear that's like the hardest part of like having a baby is the sleep deprivation and having to put yourself to sleep multiple times.
Yeah.
The good thing is like she's been pretty good.
Yeah, she gives me 3-hour stretches. So I can't complain. Like I know some babies like will wake up every hour and a half. Like she gives me good solid 3 hours each time.
Yeah. Good.
But like I now think I'm like, how the hell did Roxanne do this? Like when you were doing it, like what were you doing? Like I don't understand.
I was with putting myself back to sleep.
Everything, like how you were feeding them, putting them like when they were crying. Like I don't understand. I know you had such good babies too, but damn.
No, I was miserable. Like I'm telling you, Jack like rocked me, dude. Especially because like no matter what, this was going on for months, So we are just really badass women because like no one could ever do what we do.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, go get some rest, our little girl. Yeah. Okay. Well, we love you. All right. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.